sailed on up the Torridge, our cargo to land. Tobacco picked by hand from Virginia's foreign land. We moored up at the quay up in Bideford town. Torridge sailors all are we. More ships they come a-sailing across the Irish Sea, with wool to wash and clean and to spin for you and me. Their crews drinking the ale houses fed throughout the town. Torrid sailors all are we. Where the press gangs are waiting to ply them with cheap wine, and to drag them to their naval ships where they will serve their time. But the old sea dogs amongst us will evade their wicked ways.
Can you tell us what your name is and where you live?
My name's Peter Christie and I live in Bideford.
Okay, good. And how long have you lived in the area, Peter?
37 years.
Wow, so definitely not a newcomer to the area.
Still a newcomer to many people, but at least they stopped stoning me in the street, which is something.
What's the local saying? You have to have lived here for
3 generations.
3 generations before you were local.
Before you're local,
That's
yes.
right, yeah. And tell us what your role or job is in Bideford.
Gosh.
Or jobs, if you can.
Well, I've got lots of jobs, yes. I was actually a teacher for most of my life. I teach geography and history.
Yeah.
I'm also a town councillor and a district councillor. I'm the longest serving in both.
Yeah.
I'm also, I've been chairman of the Bridge Trust, which is the group that looks after, or used to look after the bridge, but doesn't anymore. But we still are a very important part of Bideford life.
And which bridge is that?
This is Bideford Long Bridge,
Yeah.
the medieval bridge, the crowning glory of Bideford.
Yeah.
Yes, marvellously.
Which is pretty old, isn't it?
It goes back probably to the 13th century, but we're not certain. We don't have our records. But as soon as it was set up, there had to be somebody to look after it, and this was the Bridge Trust. And there are only 3 Bridge Trusts in the whole of England. Barnstaple, Bideford and Rochester in Kent.
Yeah.
And we're one of the oldest.
And if you could just tell us your name and where
Yeah,
you live.
I'm Dan, being Dan the Fishman from Clovelly, and today is Friday, so here we are in Mill Street with the Fish Barrow.
Great. And how long have you lived in the area, Dan?
Oh gosh, I came here in 1979, moved here for love, and slowly just got into fishing, and then now I do the fish selling.
Yeah, excellent. So you've actually been involved with fish a long time then?
Yeah, I have. I mean, living in a small little village of Clovelly, and this is my hometown, Bideford, and it's really nice to meet the customers and see the whole process all the way through, from catching it to selling it to cooking it for people as well.
Yeah. So that's probably answered the next question in a sense, because the next question is, what's your job?
Yeah,
what do you do?
I'm the town's fishmonger, but what I want to do more than that is promote fish in the whole area for people to enjoy, whether it's from me and things like that. We're very proud of our fishermen here. We're very proud of our heritage here, and we are under economic attack from supermarkets. So it's very important to have this direct connection with customers, and then with the advent of farmers markets we have here on the quay, which is very strong. We have very good, loyal support.
Yeah, it's really important, isn't it? So,
yeah.
And could you describe a typical day?
Typical day is all right. Excuse me. Yeah, cheers. A typical day is I start in the fish yard in Appledore. We have a fishermen's cooperative, and the boys work through the night getting fish ready, and I turn up, I ice up, load up, and just sell the prime fish there. And I go off to different markets, different days right across the region. It's no good now expecting customers to come to you. You've got to go out and find the customers. And it's a matter of keeping your overheads down. It's also keeping it real. I mean, we're very proud of the good quality of our fish, of being dayboat caught fish, and we have a good, strong, loyal following.
Yeah. And is it the fish you've got for sale? Is it all locally?
Everything on the barrow here is local, apart from the salmon is overnight from Scotland. The scallops is local from Coombe Fisheries. Crab comes up from Plymouth. We've got a crab processor from Plymouth, which is the best. We've also now, squid. Got mussels, which is a nice young couple doing mussels again, which is really nice. Now the water quality's improved. So, This is what I trade on. You won't find swordfish here or tuna. This is fresh, what's been landed during the night, mostly or yesterday afternoon.
Yeah, fantastic. Looks fabulous too.
Well, it tastes good as well, I hope.
At Blazes, a Bideford cafe on Mill Street, and Mill Street is right in the heart of the town centre in Bideford, isn't it?
It is, yes.
And it's a lovely space.
Thank you.
So if you could just tell us your name and where you live.
Right. Well, hi Sadie, I'm
Hi.
Angela Blasey. The cafe is named after me. And I live here in Bideford.
Yeah.
Only about 5 minutes walk from here,
Ah,
so
nice.
it's very central.
Yes, that's good. And how long have you lived in the area?
Well, it's 2 years now. We moved from the north of England in Yorkshire, moved down to Bideford, North Devon. Not an area that we knew, but we're very happy that we did.
Yeah, great. Welcome to the area. And what's your job here in Bideford?
Right, well, this coffee shop that we're in now is mine and my husband's, and we own and run this. So obviously we sell coffee, teas, food, lunches, breakfasts, and we also sell some local Devon produce.
Yeah. Tell me more about that, because that's quite a good thing. It's a unique thing about your business,
Yes,
really, isn't it?
we like to have as much as absolutely possible Devon-made produce that we sell, both in the food we make and in the things on the shelves, such as behind me. We like to go to small producers, so sometimes it's even someone just making it in their kitchen at home. Others, they've got little factories, but nothing that you could call big, and they're the people we want to concentrate on. So anywhere in Devon, if it comes from Devon, then it fills our criteria.
What's your name and where do you live?
My name's Andy Powell, and I live a couple of miles out of town.
Okay. And how long have you lived in the area, Andy?
I've lived here since 1987, although I've actually known the area since about 71, 72. Family used to come down here on farming holidays, so that was my first introduction to Bideford and Hockings ice cream and such like. And I just fallen in love with the place ever since, really.
Yeah, so you go back quite a few years then, connections-wise.
Almost a local.
Yeah, almost. Not quite. And what's your role or job in Bideford, or the Bideford Bay area?
Depends which hat I want to wear, really. I mean, I have the usual sort of day job that pays the wages, pays the bills, etc., that kind of thing. But really, I like to think of myself as what I do outside of work, which is town councillor, historian, author kind of thing, and just researching my favourite subject. So.
Yeah, so you have many roles. About yourself?
Hi, I'm Nick Juniper. I'm a local boy, lived in Bideford all my life. All my family are down this way, which is nice. Obviously, potter by trade. Family are potters.
The pots, surrounded by pots,
My dad's a potter, my sister's a potter. Bideford itself has a huge tradition of this kind of pottery, this graffito.
She stands on the bank of the old Torrid River, watching the tide as it rises and falls. And it would have been better had she loved another than to wait for a sail to return from far shores. There are merchants and bankers and farmers who long for a pretty young woman of gentle domain. They would buy her new dresses and do much to please her, and pledge for to love her if she'd do the same. And nobody knows how sweetly love flows through the heart of the girl by the river. And she knows day by day as he sails away that the day he'll return draws nearer. baker with only one daughter who welcomes her suitors according to means. But she turns them all down for a handsome young sailor who kissed her so sweetly and filled her with dreams. And nobody knows how sweetly love flows through the heart of the girl by the river. And she knows day by day as he sails away that the day he'll return draws nearer.
This is Andy and Linda Knight. And where are we, Andy and Linda? Introduce yourselves.
We're at the top of the hill above Bideford, Tennecott Heights. We're looking out on some green. We used to be able to see the river from here, but they built houses in between.
We did.
Yeah.
We watched the building of the new bridge, didn't we?
Yeah, we watched the building of the new bridge.
Did you really?
Yeah.
When was that?
Yes,
long we
quite
lived
a
here?
while. 1987.
was it?
Yeah, we moved
Yeah.
to 1987. Moved to Bideford in 1987.
Yeah.
And the first time we came to Bideford, which was the inspiration for this song, which didn't come out till 10 years after, was that we arrived at Bideford for the very first time. We thought we'd have a look around, see if we'd like the place. And we stopped on the quay, and there was a huge ship, high tide, huge ship, standing up there on the river. And we sat and we got a bun from the baker. And we sat on the seat under one of the lovely trees, and we thought, this is a really nice place. And we really loved
Lovely,
it. From
the river. Set your mind thinking, didn't it, with the ships coming in,
Yeah.
and the history of Bideford being having been a important
Yeah, it's a really
port
interesting place. Really
for
interesting place.
hundreds of years, hasn't it?
Yeah, it's a real river town. It's a town that's affected by its river.
Absolutely,
Some towns
yeah.
are not. Some towns have got rivers going through them, but they don't take any notice of them. But Bideford is just, the river is Bideford.
You're very aware of it, kind of
Yeah.
the tide coming in and going
Yeah,
out,
yeah,
and everything
and-
revolves around it.
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
I do other things as well. I write books. My 22nd book is coming out this year. Most of them on, well, all of them on North Devon history.
Yeah.
The other things I do, I'm trustees of various charities and libraries, and so I keep myself busy.
Yeah. I mean, what kind of stuff do you usually get up to?
A typical day would be first thing finishing stuff from the previous day. So
Yeah.
I'd come straight into work, 9, start on slipping things that have already been handled or already been thrown, and then decorating things that have already been slipped, and then by about 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock I've caught up with myself, and then back to the thing I like doing the most, which is sat at the wheel. And I usually sat here for half a day, and I
Really?
can fill the place up.
Yeah.
Like, take up all the shelf space with new thrown, and then the next day come back and
So it's like
start
a
again.
continuous process then,
Yeah.
really. Just everything's at a certain point in its creation. So you just go back to where it is, and it's like a production line, but with a small p. And you've constantly got things on the go that you're making.
move through each skill, because handle making is just as difficult as throwing a part on the wheel. Once you've slipped it, that's nice and easy. You just dunk it in there, nice ploppy sound, like how it comes. And then the hard bit, which I think any potter will, agree with, is decorating. What do you put on your blank canvas of pot? Do you get the trailers out and do you do some nice freehand wet squiggles or whatever, or combing? You flick the wet slip off with a bit of plastic. Sgraffito, like the mug here, which is literally the white body of clay and then scratched through, which we use dentist tools.
Ooh.
And which is
that for the fineness that you use?
yeah, but when Harry started, he started with like a wooden tool, and a dentist friend come in and ordered something, and he said my tools would be much better for doing that job than those wooden ones. So we ended up with a handful of this dentist dentist own tools, and you know, just scratch through, take your time.
Yeah.
I mean, Susan does, my sister, she does the writing. She's very neat, good calligrapher. You know, she's got the skill, a really good skill
So
there.
it's a real family business, isn't it?
Yeah, each one of us has blossomed.
You've got your areas that your kind of strengths.
Susan's is definitely writing, definitely numerical, you know, Roman stuff, calligraphy.
Yeah.
And Harry's is like scratching those big harvest jokes. And,
Yeah.
you know, my bit seems to be.
Well, I didn't start writing folk music until our children left for university, and we were.
Till we came here, really.
Till we came here.
So we went to the folk club.
Went to the folk club.
Have you got inspired by that?
Yeah.
And that's the folk club in Bideford.
Yeah, that sort of really started me, and it kick-started me writing lots of songs, because I was so busy before, because I was a herdsman, so I was always, I was always either working or in a zombie-like state, falling asleep into my dinner and stuff.
But you've always written songs, Andy. Ever since I've known you, you've written songs.
Yeah, but I was never as focused.
No, you weren't focused out. You were never as folky as you.
No.
You got caught up by the folk. What you liked about the folk music was the stories.
Yeah.
And because you've always written, you've always in your mind created stories.
Yeah.
And is that stories about the area here, or just stories?
Well, stories about I mean the sort of the fact that it's a port and that it's so closely linked to the sea, and my great grandfather was one of the lifeboatmen at Plymouth. He was the coxswain of the Plymouth lifeboat. So and further back than that was someone who sailed on who actually sailed on sailing ships and was taken out of the service because he's deaf from the cannons going off. So that, you know, our family history has
very much
got those
maritime.
and I sort of felt fairly sort of that in my blood. And
so you have stories to tell, and that can be expressed through your music.
Yes, yes, I like telling. I like to be able to see a song.
And what do you love about Bideford
And the actual town, I've considered this as my hometown. I mean, I was brought up in London, but I've been here, as I say, since 1979. It's friendly, very friendly and very approachable. And something which is perhaps different here in Bideford to, as this is a very rural community, is that we all seem to get on with each other right across the generations. Young people and old people work together, and there is a good community spirit here. And perhaps that's because we are more isolated. I mean, it's only recently, last few decades, that we had communications to the motorway network and things like that. And in a way, I do like that isolation. You go south of the moor, you go south of Dartmoor, they're all a bit busy down there. And we just like our pace of life. We don't do a lot of hurry around here. And I think that shows a sort of inner sort of respect for each other. People like to be recognised around here as well. And I feel I belong. And you know, I've been proud to have been a lifeboatman and a fisherman, and feel that you're actually giving something back to your community, perhaps.
I'm a connoisseur of graveyards, and I do like the Old Town one. Chudley Fort is fantastic for getting a view of Bideford, because when I do my conducted tours, if I go to Easter Water, I always take people up there. It's a bit of a climb, but fantastic view when you get up there. I love the quay because it's always busy. I also like the British Trust room, which, unless you're on the British Trust, virtually nobody's seen. It's an 18th century room. That's pretty splendid as well. But there are lots of individual buildings. I spent many years trading in Bideford Market, and the Pannier Hall is quite astonishing to see that. But there are lots of little places, what I would call hidden Bideford.
The thing I like most about Bideford is it's a very sort of chilled out town. People have got the time of day for you. You're not sort of obliged or press ganged into buying things in the shop, but they've always got what you want. You know, they've always got something different. You can go and do a bit of cafe culture and sit there with a newspaper and not feel that you're going to be subjected to a conveyor belt. So I think Bideford is very unique in that respect. And you know, if you want to do a bit of promenading and socialising, come to Bideford. That's what it's all about.
Sounds great, doesn't it?
In general, when I go out of Bideford, I usually find when I come back into Bideford over the new bridge and look down into town, I just think, what a lovely place. So, I mean, you look down on one side and you can see the old bridge and you know, the town centre, and you look up and you see the houses in the trees, like, you know, you just think, what a beautiful, special place, like, you know. I'm not sure driving into many places is quite as nice as driving into Bideford.
It's great. I've lived a few places in my town. I've never known anywhere that seems to be so involved in the twinning. You can drive along streets in England and roads in England, and you'll come across a town or a village, and it'll say on the sign, whatever the name of the village is, twinned with, wherever.
Yeah.
But I've never known any more about it than that, really. But being here, there seems to be a real reciprocal involvement of the twinning, and there's a real heritage link there as well. There's proper history, and you know why we're twinned with them. I think it's great. I like to learn. I like it when people who are really involved, such as yourself, Sadie, come and tell us information about Manteo. It seems a great place, and I like that they're interested in hearing about us as well.
Yeah.
It's a really great thing.
A wonderful relationship.
Yes,
Yeah.
I
yes.
think it's the best thing since sliced bread, but you know, I truly believe it is. I think what's developed in terms of cultural exchange, and with people like John Wilson coming over to unveil the plaque of Rawley, the frequent visits by Bideford Bay creatives, and of course myself, I go and make a social call whenever I can. We're just building that relationship between the towns, and you know, that's what a twinning should all be about. We have this massive historical link going back 425 years, and it's something that both towns should feel really proud of.
Dan, what do you think about the twinning between Bideford and Manteo?
I think it's great. I think it's great. Not just a twinning just into Europe, which I think is essential as well. It's making those hands across the water, and that really just sort of broadens the whole experience, I think, of living in Bideford, and also with the American brothers over there as well. And it's something that we should foster good links like that. And we are all, you know, suffering in tough economic times on both sides of the water. And I think it's great that we actually do understand that other communities are going through the same things as well.
Absolutely. And if you could say something to people in Manteo, what would you say to them?
I would say, come and see us, and we need to come and see you as well. We're all a bit insular out here, so sometimes we need a bit of a push, and making these connections together, I think it's great, professionally, socially, and more. And I think for the children which are growing up, to make those links across the sea.
Fabulous. Dan the Fishman, thank you very much.
It's a pleasure. All right, thank you.
Manteo, what message would you send?
Well, that's actually very easy. Jamie, we need a good pizza house in Bideford, you know, and to everyone else in Manteo, I'd like to say hi all, you're most welcome to be here, and we look forward to seeing you as we do when we come to see you guys. Thank you.
I don't know you all personally. It's great to know about you, and I hope that one day some more of you can come over here and see what a great place Bideford is. So, welcome to Bideford, even if it is only via this film link.
Well, obviously, hello. And I hope that some of you will come and actually visit Bideford, because I intend coming to Manteo on one day, and it would be nice to see you. And if you do come, contact the town clerk's office, and I'll take you on a conducted historical tour of old Bideford. Thank you.
That sounds amazing. There's an offer that can't be
It's
refused.
amazing to think that you will be hearing and listening to the music in Manteo, and I'm really interested in Manteo now, and I would really like you to send some stuff over to Bideford in the future so we can find out a little bit more about you and your life, and yes, that's very interesting.
Yeah, it is.
So this is about for doing something.
I think this is
Yeah.
a step in the right direction.
Particularly menus, because
And
obviously
music,
we've heard
I'd
a
be-
lot about food in Manteo, and
I'd
we've
be
seen-
interested in the music that people play
Yeah.
in Manteo, whether people play instruments and what sort of music they like to play,
Yeah.
and whether they'd like to send some of the music that they like over so that we can hear it, and then maybe come over and play with us.
Yeah.
Have a music festival.
A music
Yeah.
festival,
Well,
yeah.
that'd be a good idea. Bideford Folk Festival, we
Yeah.
could start that.
Yeah, that would be really
a
great,
twinned,
wouldn't
a
it?
twinned folk
Twin
festival.
Folk Festival, yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, that's grand, yes. Well, I hope you have a successful exhibition.
Yes. And
Great.
hope your feet stay dry.
Well, Andy and Linda Knight, thank you very much.
Well, thank you very much,
Well, thank
Sadie.
you, Sadie.
Thank you. That'd be a load of old rubbish on there, wouldn't it?
We sailed on up the Torridge, our cargo to land. Tobacco picked by hand from Virginia's foreign land. We moored up at the quay up in Bideford town. Torridge sailors all are we. More ships that come a-sailing across the Irish Sea, with wool to wash and clean and to spin for you and me. Their crews drinking the ale houses fed throughout the town. Torrid sailors all are we. Where the press gangs are waiting to ply them with cheap wine, and to drag them to their naval ships where they will serve their time. But the old sea dogs amongst us will evade their wicked ways. Torrid sailors all are we. With ships moored in the Torridge and sailors in the town, they bustle all around with the sights and all the sounds of traders with their wares to sell to markets overseas. Torrid traders all